Hello and welcome back to another video. I hope you enjoyed the new intro start. It was quite a lot of fun to make. In this video, you're going to learn everything you need to know about how to chain for free speed ups, resources and gems. We're going to cover when, why and how to chain, which commander pairs you should use both pre-Season of Conquest and during Season of Conquest. There are so many guides out there that show fully expertise commanders that loads of you won't have, especially if you're in a new account. And I'm going to recommend none of these commanders. You don't need them. There's so many commanders in this game that you can use on a massive budget, which are actually still just really good commanders to use. So make sure you stay to the end of the video for a special tip. This one absolutely blew me away when I first found it out, so I know that you'll really want to see this one. If you enjoy my content, be sure to drop a like. It's free and it really helps me out. So make sure you're subscribed with notifications on, and let's get into it. Here we go. Okay, so when and why should you be chaining? Chaining is the art of using an AoE commander to aggro multiple barbs into attacking you without spending AP. So for example, I have my CC with CY pairing here. So we got the CY has a circle AoE which allows us to attack lots of barbs without aggroing them. And this saving AP is really important because AP is actually relatively hard to come by. Like the forts that caps the amount you can get from that, and it's quite capped how much you can actually get without spending gems and money on it. So if you're not going to be spending gems and money on it like most people aren't, this is a really good way to save that AP and still get insane value. And it might sound really difficult, but anyone can do it. It just takes a little bit of time, a little bit of patience, and a little bit of practice, and you can also get some insane reports. For example, I pulled in this one, which is 13 battle reports, loads of free crystals, speed ups, got loads of terms of knowledge, resources, even some gems in here, getting a good amount of gems, and the materials are also really good. By far the best time to be doing this is in KvK because obviously high level barbs, you're going to get loads of speed ups, like 20 minutes. This is an hour of speed ups for 60 AP, which is great. 50 gems, 1,500 crystals on a single chain. 1 barb spent to kill and 2 for free. This is such good value. As well as this Season of Conquest chaining is a brilliant source for crystals, as I just said, and if you chain instead of using 5 marches of barbs, you use far less AP and therefore be able to kill far more barbarians. So this is just a way better way of spending your AP than 5 march barbarian killing. And yeah, let's get into how it's going to work with a few examples. So here we go. Okay, so let's go through an example of a chain that I did earlier. Here we're going to go and select this target. We have 3 barbarians quite close together, so this makes quite a nice target. And we're now sending our commander over here. I like to use right click to send my commander over because it just makes it easier to send it there quickly instead of like clicking, holding or dragging it over. Nice and quick, send it there, done. If you're doing 5 march chains, we'll be moving on to my next march to see what that one's doing, but I'm just going to focus on this one for now to show you exactly what we need to do. So here we've got my commander approaching. We're almost there, and at this point I'm thinking, which one am I going to attack? And we're looking at getting that level 43 barb on the app. There isn't really any real reason for this, I just picked it because when I'm going into it, it means that my commander is right in the center. Because we have circle AoE, it's going to pick up those other 2 barbs nice and easily. So as you can see, it starts walking away. We're going to follow it, but it's quite nice because the other 2 have followed. We're still quite close together. We get to attack, and then we're able to move back, and the other barb will follow along. Notice that I paused my march here, and this is because the other barb is now able to catch up. As well as this, you might notice from the yellow circle that my rage is very full, and we're about to fire off our active skill, and we're in a perfect position to capture the other barbs with the circle. We can use this circle as a perfect guide to tell you exactly when you need to be stopping a march and where the barbs can be, and over time you'll get pretty much used to how big this circle is, and that's basically if the barb is inside that, it's going to be hit by the AoE. Okay, the reason I'm showing you this second clip is to show you that chains can be quite a long way. As much as barbs will pull away if you pull away from their starting point too far, you can actually pull them quite far, but you've got to be careful. So in this one, we can see that this barb is quite far away, and we're still going to try and pull it. And let's see how it goes. So we're pulling it closer, and we're pulling these ones a bit closer, and we're just going to be moving it incrementally at a time, letting those skill cycles go off, and just moving it slowly, a little bit at a time as we get closer. We can see that one of those barbs pulled too far away and it's gone. We're not going to be able to recover that barb probably. We can keep pulling and we're just about got it in the middle. We've got the rage full and we fire off that skill immediately to chain into the next one, as you can see there. So that one went pretty okay. And as we can see, we're thinking, is this going to be it? We're going to be able to get to the next one. But what I'm going to do is we know that we've already pulled this first barb. As well as this, he's already on quite low health, as we can see from his yellow health bar. So what we're going to do is we're just going to sit here and let it kill that barb first, and once it's killed, we can move it, because we can see the first barb hasn't moved that much, so we're still going to be able to pull it quite far. As we can see, we're spanning this gap quite nicely, and we're just going to move it a little bit at a time. Often, if you're moving diagonally like we just did there, it will stay attached far easier. So here we are, we've pulled it into position, we're going to let that rage bar fill up, and we're almost there. Just got to hold it and let that chain happen. That's 3. And we're going to do the same thing again here. As you can see, we just let it kill the first barb and then we move it into place to kill the second one. There we go, the first one is dead. And we just slide around as I said earlier, we're moving diagonally to the barb, we're not moving away from it, we're moving across it so it stays connected quite nicely. We're able to get it in, and this becomes a 4 chain. From what looked like a really long and difficult chain, we made it to 4 barbs, even though we lost one at the very start. So that is a quick tip on how you can pull longer chains by just being careful, killing one barb and then moving on to the next one for loads of free value. Okay, let's go over the commands that you can use. We're going to start off with Pre-Season of Conquest, so obviously you can't be using QSH. In Pre-Season of Conquest, your supply of commanders that are available and usable is very limited. Thankfully, almost all of the ones that are available to use are available in Season 1. To make a pair, you need an AoE Commander and a Healing Commander, or an incredibly tanky Commander. The bigger the AoE and the heal, the better. So the first commander that you're going to get to use is Ethelfled. Now, all you need to be using is her first skill, so she'll work at like 5-1-1-1 would be perfect. The higher level though, obviously, the better. So she's only got a semicircle AoE, but it's 5 target, and that's the best you can have for quite a while. So semicircle is only half circle. The best ones are full circle, and that's what we're going to be using only once you hit Season of Conquest. So you can pair her really early game with Lohar if you want to be like chaining from day 1. You can pair her with Lohar because he's got a little bit of a heal on the active skill and also a heal over here. But if you are going to want to wait a bit, like just chaining once you hit KvK or something like that, then you can get a Richard from the wheel. Where's my Richard? My Richard is here. I have him level 50 and 5-1-1-1. And I use him in Season of Conquest, and he is basically unkillable. Richard is such a good commander. So he'll come in on the wheel, he'll carry you through SOC, he's one of the best healers in the game, there are no questions asked about that. So once you hit Season 1, we get access to an AoE commander that we're also going to be using for a very long time, and that is SOC YSG. Come on, there we go. The one thing about him is you do need to have him expertised, because the circle AoE only comes once we get to the expertise. However, it's quite worth it. Season 1, Season 2, he is going to absolutely destroy people in the field, if he's expertised especially, so yeah, very much worth it investment then. And he's still meta in Season of Conquest. Stick him behind your QSH, you're going to have a really good march. So it's not a waste of sculptures to invest into QSH. The only other circle AoE commander I believe before Season of Conquest is Cyrus. Let me see if I can find my Cyrus. Here he is. Now, I did use him a little bit. It's got a few barb kills on him probably. Yeah, 8 million barbarian kills. Not that many because I didn't use him for that long. The skill that we're looking at is here. Whenever it launches a basic attack, it has a 10% chance to deal additional damage factor. At level 1 it's 100, level 5 it's 250. To the target every 3 seconds. Is it that one? No. Here it is. When the command's troop on the attack, it is on the map. Whenever it is hit by a basic attack, it has a 10% chance to deal additional damage factor 150 to up to 3 nearby enemy troops. So this one is a circle AoE, but it's only 3 targets and it's only on an instant proc, so it's quite difficult. It's also quite a small AoE. So this makes it quite difficult to chain with, as well as the fact that it doesn't show you like a circle like other ones do. So yeah, it's really hard to chain with, but it does work, and it is a circle AoE. And it can be run at like 1-1-1-1. But yeah, he works. He's not the greatest, but he works, and he's pre-season of Conquest. So that's it for the AoEs in pre-SOC. There's some others with like a 3-target semicircle AoE, like CJ, but they are a lot harder to use. So for the healers, we've got the other option is SOC CC, and he's got a really good insta-proc heal if we find him at the top. He has on the 4 skill, which you will need maxed for this. He has a 1000 damage factor, 1000 healing factor insta-proc, 10% chance whenever it launches a basic attack. And this was it'll be okay pre-season of Conquest because the barbs are weaker, so it's not going to take as much damage. But it's going to get better once we hit Season of Conquest and we have combo which can proc it more. For some honorable mentions, we've got things like Boudica, the Epic, which heals 400 damage factor every time you use an active skill. We've got things like Queen Tamar, who's actually surprisingly good if we find her. She has a 700 damage factor heal on the active skill. Here we are. For the next 2 seconds, this commander heals itself and a nearby allied troop with the fewest units remaining every second for 2 seconds. 700 damage factor because it's 300 on every second, and you gain 20% defense. So it's a pretty good skill. It's going to heal you 700. Lohar heals 450, as we talked about. He's got a really interesting mechanic that I'll go over later. And Joan and Wachinilajor, this one, I probably butchered the pronunciation on that one, but yeah, they've got some insta-proc heals, which is on this one, whenever it's launched or hit by a basic attack, but this one is like it's got a long cooldown, yeah, 10 seconds on this one, it's got a long cooldown, and Joan as well has an insta-proc heal. Here we are. Whenever it launches a basic attack, he has a 10% chance to recover a portion of its slightly wounded units, healing factor 450. Cooldown 5 seconds. Again, this is a really low heal, but it's something if you're using it pre-season of Conquest. Won't work in Season of Conquest at all though. So, for Season of Conquest, here we're going to focus on commanders that can be run easily on a budget, or some that are part of meta marches. So things like, I don't know, YSG. I'll recommend YSG, even though it's very much not a budget one, because it's part of meta march, so you're probably going to have them anyway. So things like Huo and Boudica are great for chaining, but they need their 4 skill maxed to work, which is really not feasible on the budget. So for AoEs, we have YSG first, can be obtained pre-SOC, but needs to be expertised. However, is very meta with QSH, as we talked about. Where is he? He is here. YSG, nice big circle AoE, 1700 damage factor, 5 targets, beautiful. QSH, very easy commander to chain with, probably works at 1-1-1-1. He's got a continuous AoE, so every basic attack he's dealing an AoE to 6 targets. So this is more targets you can chain with than any other commander. QSH is really good. Would recommend. Zhuge works at 1-1-1-1. I have mine at 4-1-1-1 because I was spun a wheel for him once. But yeah, easy 5 target AoE insta-proc, AoE active skill in a circle. He's beautiful, very good AoE commander. CY is absolutely brilliant. Cho Young, where is he? He is here. Literally, I have him at 3-1-1. He's going to heal 1000 damage factor, and he has a circle AoE, which is absolutely insane. It says for the next 10 seconds, whenever this commander heals a target, they also deal 80% of the heal strength as true damage to up to 5 nearby enemy troops. So it's dealing 800 damage factor to 5 nearby enemy troops. This is relatively low damage factor, but I have him paired with my Sao, so that's like a high single target damage. We're going to kill off the single barbs, and yeah, it works really well as a chaining march for me. And then for the cavalry commanders, we have Achilles, the only cavalry commander that you can chain with as the AoE, because straight away on the active skill, 5 target circle AoE damage factor, was it on the level 1? Damage factor 500, but it'll be 1000, so it's pretty good. Achilles is a really good one to be chaining with. I use him every day. 5 target, works at 1-1-1-1, and he basically buffs CC because he's going to proc that instant proc healing more. We're doing an extra 10 basic attacks on the active skill. Then we have no infantry commands for the circle AoE, but we have a couple leadership ones. So we have, firstly, Hera, the only one that I actually have unlocked and use. Here we are, Hera. On the active skill, he does 600 damage factor at level 1, he works at 1-1-1-1, but he is a little bit low damage factor. Matthias is our next one. He is not unlocked for me, so I'm going to have to find him. I'm going to filter. It's Edward, sorry. Legendary, Leadership, Garrison. Here he is. Matthias works at 1-1-1-1. Damage factor 1400. It is a circle. This guy is beautiful. Would recommend as a circle AoE. I just don't have him unlocked yet. Haven't been able to get a Mighty's Governor. That's the only drawback here. He needs to be obtained from the Mighty's Governor. So does Lapu Lapu, who is also 1400 damage factor, 5 target circle AoE. But yeah, also a Mighty's Governor. I believe his AoE is actually a little bit smaller than others. So yeah, a little bit more difficult. The final section of commanders that we look at is the healing ones, so let's get into that one. So the final thing that you need for your training march is a healing commander, or just a really tanky commander. So the first one we're going to look at is Shajar. Now, she works at 1-1-1-1, but she's best at about 3-1-1-1, which is like 1400 healing factor. It's really good. When you have her at 5-1-1-1, she does 2000 healing factor, which is just insane. Probably the best healer in the game. She's absolutely brilliant. So yeah, would recommend using Shajar. The next one we're going to talk about is CY or Cho Young. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but here we go. So we are looking at this guy. He is the Archer Garrison. I run him at 3-1-1. The last skill only affects when it affects it only affects rallied armies, so we don't care about this one. This one, it's going to heal healing factor of 1000 at 3-1-1, which is it's good enough. It works. It's pretty good. So yeah, would recommend Cho. He's pretty cheap. 5-1-1-1 is absolutely brilliant. 3-1-1 is working really well for me, so I would recommend him. The next one is in the cavalry troop type, and we mentioned this guy earlier. It is Cao Cao. You need the 4 skill maxed, but this guy is a gold key commander. You get so many heads of him early game. Realistically, you could probably get him there quite easily. So this is why I'm recommending this guy when I'm not recommending some others that you need the 4th skill maxed. His best pairings are like when you put him with Achilles, because then you're using the combo to heal that. Currently, I'm running him with CY, so he's got some extra support on the healing there, and also the CY is the AoE commander from that one, like we talked about earlier with that in the AoE section. The rest of our healing commanders are infantry. So the first one is the early game guy. This guy is absolutely brilliant. Where is he? A bit further down by the looks of it. Here he is. It is Richard I, the Lionheart. When he's at 5-1-1-1, he's healing 1400 damage factor. Brilliant. He will never die. This guy is the GOAT of healing commanders. And the final one that I'm talking about as a healing commander, I don't yet have unlocked. She is a garrison commander. She is infantry, and she is legendary. She is Zenobia. This one is, yeah, it's kind of a weird one because it's going to heal 300 healing factor, and then after another second, it's going to heal an extra 1100. Realistically, you probably want her at 5-1-1-1. I think this one doesn't really matter. It's a garrison skill. This one is also doesn't matter. It's a garrison skill, but this one is going to give you some nice stats: 10% health, 10% attack. We don't care about the last part because it's damage right arms. But yeah, stats are good. But yeah, this is a really good healing commander. Zenobia works very well. The final commander that we're going to talk about is Martel. Martel is not a healer, but if we look in his talents, we have On the defense tree, medicinal supplies. Whenever this commander's troop uses an active skill, it recovers a portion of its slightly wounded units, healing factor 300. There is no cooldown on this, so it will trigger on both the primary and the secondary, so that's 600 healing factor per cycle. Realistically, with Martel, you want to pair him with someone really tanky to go with his tankiness. He's going to give you a big shield, 1200 damage factor, so that's pretty nice. He's going to give you some good stats, 15% defense, 15% health. He's going to give you a really nice amount of counter attack. This is good. What the expertise does is gives him even more stats, up to 20% health, 20% defense, 20% march speed to help you get around the map a bit faster and get between his barbs. Now, you notice that I've recommended you literally like 3 out of his 4 skills and the expertise. Yeah, this guy needs to be quite high level. But again, like the Sao, he is in the gold keys, he is really good early game, so the likelihood is you'll have quite a lot of heads for him, and over time you'll be able to build him up to being a good commander. I will put a disclaimer on Martel, he's not going to live forever like Shajar or CY or Richard will. Martel will die eventually. He's kind of a gap-fill commander in this sort of thing, so don't invest in him thinking I'm going to use him for chaining forever. Yeah, realistically you should be massively investing in any chaining commander. You should be putting your sculptors into your field commanders, but Martel can work if you need to put him in there if you want to go for another chaining march. So those are all of the healing or tanky commanders that I'm going to recommend, and we're going to go on to the special tips section. You will want to stick around for this, there's some good stuff in there. Yeah, I have 3 main tips for you. The first one is, because the best time to chain is in KvK, one of the things you'll have access to is Crystal Tech. So we've got all these stats here available to us that we can use to make our marches more tanky. Now, I'm running 2 archers, 2 cav and 1 infantry for my 5 marches of chain. So I've gone all in on archers as my first set of Crystal Tech. Now, with the new Crystal Tech you can push up 1 troop type. The second troop type I will probably go for will be my cavalry. The third will be my infantry, and this really supports me with the chaining because we're going to have the stats on the marches that we are using the most, which is going to help with tankiness and the damage to help us get through those chains faster, and also march speed, moving through the map faster, getting to those barbs much quicker. This is just a massive bonus to make sure we were getting all of these stats from Crystal Tech for the chaining as well as for the fights. The second tip I have for you is Bastion skills. Now, if we look in the support skills we have in here, if you're in a KvK with support skills, these are really good. For example, we have Joan of Arc. This is a healing skill. Brilliant. We can put this on a march that's maybe struggling to heal as much, and we've got more healing on that march. This is beautiful. Also, stats. Brilliant. Stats. Brilliant. Unit capacity, also really good. Now, there's loads of different support skills that you can get, and often you'll have a few that heal, and that are really good and help you out with that chaining skills. The final tip is to do with Lohar. Now, Lohar only has 450 healing the basic attack, so what we're going to do is we're going to stick him in a node, and we're going to pop out the node, and we're going to hit a bar. And then we're going to leave the bar, we're going to pop back into the node. Now what this does is it makes us leave combat really quickly. And on Lohar's 4th skill, which is enhanced by his expertise, he says that whenever he leaves combat, he's going to heal 2000 healing factor. Every time you hit the bar after the first time, it is free. It remembers you've spent AP and it just does it for free. So what you do is you repeat this many times. As we can see, the health is slowly going up, and we're just going to do this until we have a satisfactory level of healing. Every time I pop out of the node, my health is slightly higher, and then once you've done it, if you set this up properly, you'll be able to chain off of the barb that you hit, and it will be, again, you're not spending any more AP than you need to, but this works. It's a really good tip. It absolutely blew me away when I found it, because my Lohar march was just struggling, and then we just take 20 seconds, do this quickly, and it's back up to full health. Brilliant, exactly what we want to see. Really hope you enjoyed this video. Any questions, do drop them in the comments down below. I'll also be sticking a link to my new Discord server in the description, so be sure to join that one if you want to talk to me, ask questions, general Discord stuff in there. I'll be posting links to all my videos in there as well. If you enjoy my content, do make sure you drop a like down below, subscribe. It's completely free to you. You can always unsubscribe later, but it really helps me out and I do appreciate it. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.